My name is Joe P. The poetry scene in Houston is actually up and coming. It's booming, actually. We have a lot of different areas in which we have venues to have poetry and platforms from, all the way from kids up to adults that want to try their hand in poetry that have never done it before in their lives. We have one of the largest open mic spots in the country. It's Poetry Lounge Houston. We do it at Bamboo Lounge in the Village every Sunday, and we averaged about 150 to 300 people per week just to hear poetry and open mic talent. Past that, we're in all the schools. I'm working with all the schools as far as implementing poetry programs so that our youth can start coming up in that type of world so that they can just jump right into the poetry industry that's in the city of Houston. So I think we're up and coming. A lot of us are becoming nationally known now and getting recognized, and we're being known as a city that's just not for oil and gas, but we also have some artistic talent too. I first started performing poetry, I used to do it when I was younger, but it was playful. It was just, I could write and I was acting all the time, so I was like, let me try my hand in poetry. I didn't start taking it seriously till about 7 or 8 years ago. I went and heard a friend do some poetry, somebody that I thought would never be doing poetry ever, and I went and heard him spitting, and after hearing that, I was like, I could do this, and I wanted to at least try it, and try it for real. So the next time I had an opportunity to do it, I went to a hood poetry night spot in Houston, spit my poem, everybody was like, people want to hear this, you know. I'm currently playing the role of John in The Whipping Man, which is showing at Stages Repertory Theater in Houston, which has been open for about 36 seasons. So it's a well-known theater in Houston. They do a lot of great shows, and this is actually my first time working with that theater and making my debut there. It was a great opening. The show is basically about two recently freed slaves after the Civil War, and they're stuck in a home with their former master, okay? And he can't go anywhere because his leg is all messed up. So the whole story just unfolds because not only are we black slaves, we're also Jewish. So it's a whole bunch of different twists to it that opens many doors and many topics for discussion after you see the play, as far as racism, religion, and then just how times were in that period. It's a period piece. So the reviews have been great. Opening night was awesome, and it's a show that most people in Houston are trying to come see now. Well, I didn't write The Whipping Man. Matthew Lopez wrote that one, but I have written a few plays in my life. I like to intertwine poetry and theater because I've dealt with both my whole life. So when I write plays, I like to call them poetricals. It's a word that I made up myself, trademarked and everything. So poetricals is what I do. It's a collection of skits and vignettes all brought together and put together like by poetry. And the transitions are music, maybe acting, maybe dancing, but it all comes together for one big production. And then I wrote just one real play, which is a regular type play called Family, which was based loosely on my family and others, which I just produced last few months ago. So yeah, I'm trying to get into the writing game, but I still like performing a lot. The challenges usually are, one, getting all those people together in one room, because dancers have their own world, singers have their own world, actors have their own world, and now poets have their own world too. So it's just trying to combine all those worlds into one and get them to work collectively on one big project, one big main goal, instead of focusing individually on their own. So that's usually the biggest part, is making it mesh together almost seamlessly. The poem that I'm performing on the show is going to be called What's Your Purpose? It's a poem that I've been doing for a while. It's a big important piece to myself and to the many students that I teach and adults throughout the world and the country. The platform is a platform that I base most of all I do on, is basically finding your purpose in life. What were you put on this earth to do besides get a lot of money, become famous, and shine? What else were you put on this earth to do? Were you put here to help people? Were you put here to influence or inspire people? So those are the type of questions I get people to ask themselves with that piece, and I show my own struggle that I had dealing with my own purpose. The other piece that I'll be doing for the web poem is called True Love, which just gives a different look at love, because when you start trying to do love poems, people go, oh, I ain't in love, I don't wanna hear about this. So I just gave people a different perspective of how much we do need love and how much we use it in our everyday lives outside of just telling the person that we really like a lot, I love you. Like love is way bigger than that. It's a bigger notion than just saying some words to somebody that you feel like you like a whole lot. So I get them to see the religious side of it and the whole reason why we should all love together, period, anyway.
Let's go see IamJoeP.